Howdy, folks. Spencer here, and today there's some really great news to go over. The summary is DECA is listening to our feedback and they are quickly acting upon it. As always, chapters to each topic are listed below. First up, for those of you over on console, the first part of the 2025 event campaign 7 starts today, February 18th, and runs through March 11th at noon Pacific time. This is a no-win scenario event featuring the Space TFO Kobayashi Maru and the Ground TFO Arena of Sompek as your two options for daily progression. And for the event version of these TFOs, they are automatically going to end after you hit a certain round. So for the Ground TFO Sompek, that is going to be after round 7, and for the Space one Kobayashi Maru, that will automatically end after round 6. Now, as for which of these is better, that's going to depend on how your space or ground build is, but both of these TFOs can be done in just a couple of minutes. And the grand prize for getting 14 days of progress and completing the known scenario event is going to be the Tier 4 Merchantman Freighter, which is unlocked account-wide. And if you want to learn more about that, I do have a video taking a look at it and its features, which I'll have linked down below. And then alongside that, you're getting 3 featured TFO reward boxes and 25,000 dilithium ore. Now, you can continue to play this after completing the event to get some additional dilithium, and with this being part of the event campaign, you're also going to get another 50 event campaign progress each additional day that you play. And for those of you wanting to buy this out and get through your event campaign a bit faster this year, this is the approach that I took to end up with 1,751 event campaign progress by the end of this first event. On day 1, which is today for console, I played the event once and got 50 progress, and then I bought it out to get another 650 progress. With the buyouts, there's often a rounding error, which is where the extra 1 comes from here. I then played it again immediately after claiming the rewards, which got me my first day of bonus lithium and another 50 event campaign progress, putting me at 751 progress within the first 15 minutes of the event. I then played it each day for the rest of the event, and after 21 days, I was at 1,751 progress, meaning that I'm on track if I repeat this process to have my event campaign reward by the end of the third event this year. And while we're on the console side of things, a key and Lobi sale was just announced over there. This is going to be running from today up through the 22nd. So this is a 15% key sale along with a return of the 20 keyring bundle to the store, and then a 20% Lobi sale. So fairly standard. If you've had anything in the Lobi store you've been looking to pick up, then this would be a good time to take advantage. Now, console should also be getting some giveaways today. I believe the Voyager one and Section 31 giveaways were meant to be going over there on the 18th, which is today. I'm not sure if they're going to stick to that plan, but keep an eye out for those. The Section 31 giveaway, if it does appear, this is only going to be for a single character, so make sure to pick it up on the character you want it on. And for the Voyager giveaway, the ships from this do unlock account-wide once you open the initial box, but the faction-appropriate EMH Bridge Officer, that is going to be just for the character that you open the box on. So just be aware of that, and again, I believe those are supposed to pop up today, but those 2 giveaways are not guaranteed. And next up, we have some patch notes for today, February 18th. So for console, this is just going over the event campaign stuff, which I just covered. And on PC, we've got some really nice fixes here. So the first thing is regarding the 15th anniversary celebration event. They heard our feedback regarding the TFO requirements on the event, and the first thing here is addressing that. Daily progress earned by playing the participating TFOs has been increased from 1 to 2. This change will not be retroactive. So what this means is moving forward for the rest of the event, the TFOs will give you your full 2 points for the day, meaning you only have to do 1 TFO a day instead of 2. So I really like that they were actually listening to our feedback, engaging, and taking this feedback on social media in the first place, and that they have acted this quickly. That is not something we have typically seen with this game, so props to them for addressing that this quickly. And alongside that, they've given us some additional options to get our daily participation in the event. So there's 2 patrols that have been added. Each will give you 1 daily progress point. So you can do the same patrol twice if you want, or you can mix it up, do a patrol and an omega. It's up to you. So the 2 patrols here are Unwanted Guest and Out of Control. These are both space TFOs, and on normal difficulty, you should be able to get through them quite quickly. And then they also fixed some issues with the Omega Particle mission. So on the Fed side, it wasn't working right in Sol System and on Starfleet Academy. And on the KDF side, it wasn't always giving 3 options, so all of those issues should now be resolved. And for the rest of the PC patch notes, we have some assorted fixes here for the Axiom episode. They added a standard cloak to the Garrett. They fixed a typo in the class display name for the Garrett. The XB Uniforms outfit box from the new story mission is now correctly flagged as a bind on pickup item. The XB outfits can now use most standard badges. The pulse phaser beams, which had the visuals changed last week, now have had their travel speed increased by 400%. Their visuals under beam overload are 20% smaller. They fixed a visual issue related to the Sons of Nuns mechless that was causing a debug FX to be visible. They adjusted the whole registry number sizes on the Odyssey and Endeavor to work better with the new registry scaling, and they adjusted the saucer registry number sizes on the Matsumoto and all 3 Kelvin Timeline Constitution variants to work better with the new scaling. So a lot of good fixes here, and especially seeing them quickly respond to some of the issues that have been raised is really nice to see, especially with those pulse phasers. They were traveling quite slow, and we have seen with other weapons like Viridians in the past where a slower travel time does have a negative performance impact. So seeing them quickly react here with the pulse phasers is really great to see. Next up, we have a MUDs update dropping today on PC and next week on the 25th for console that is adding some highly desired items into the store. Alongside these additions, there's going to be a 75% sale for all non-bundle items in the MUD store for a week. So that's today through the 25th on PC and the 25th through March 2nd for those of you over on console. Meaning if you want to pick up any of the items I'm about to talk about or any of the other non-bundle items from the MUD store, this is going to be a great time to pick them up. The 3 new additions here are the Chronogami Displacer Universal Console, the Crystal Harmonics Space Set, and the Tier 6 Hysperian Intel Battlecruiser. So, starting with the Chronogami, this is by far the weakest offering from this new set of MUDs editions. And what this does is this console will enable or open a Chronogami portal, drawing the target ship back in time from the point just before its destruction. It's a fun console, but I just don't think I would spend $20 on it. It's a neat visual effect there, but I just don't think I can really recommend that for most of you. Some of you might find value from it with the 2-piece it has with the Temporal Ops Scorpion Fighters off of the legendary Valdor, but this is one of those things where if it was in the Phoenix store, I'd be able to recommend it for you to play around with, but for $20 or 2000 Zen, I think this console is going to be a pass for most of you. And the next thing here is the Crystal Harmonics Space Set. So this is actually a pretty big deal because this has the Tholian Warp Core and Singularity Core that you guys have probably heard mentioned on most DPS builds over the past year and a half. So this 4-piece set that you're getting here from the MUD store specifically is going to be giving you the omnidirectional interlacing Tetron beam array, the Singularity Core, the Warp Core I just mentioned, and then the Tholian Enhanced EAC Shield. The console you see here is from a story mission. So this is a really popular set in the DPS world, and the Omni is fine if you're doing a Tetron build. It would work fine, but the Pavin Omni that we got from the Pavin event last year is just a lot better to use, so I would use the Pavin instead. And really, the primary value here does come from that Singularity and Warp Core. The thing that makes these so special is upon defeating an enemy, it's going to spawn in 1 to 2 Tholian Warp Crystals. Those warp crystals can provide secondary shielding to yourself or allied players that get near them, or they can deal radiation damage to enemies that they collide with. And the damage this does can be quite substantial. If you're getting a lot of kills, this is going to spawn in a lot of crystals, and you will see this on Parses being one of the top line items. So here is a solo run, 2.4 million, and in this run, the Tholian Warp Crystals did 93k. So this is a really great warp core to have on. It's going to net you a nice bit of additional damage, especially if you're getting a lot of kills. If you're not getting a lot of kills, you may want to consider a different warp core. But for those of you chasing DPS, then picking this setup for, I think it's going to be $30 with the sale, might be a good idea. And if you want to learn more about the Tholian core, I did talk about it for a couple minutes in the June 2024 meta update video I did at about 45.5 minutes in, so I'll have that link down below if you want to learn more. And next up is the Hysperian Intel Battlecruiser. So this is going to come in with a base cost of 17,000 Zen, and then after the 75% discount, it's going to be just over $40. I think 42.50 is what they typically are. I think I'm doing the math right there. but the ship itself is fine. I've got a stats breakdown video for it, which I'll have linked down below if you're interested. But the primary draw here is the Starship Trait 5 Magics and the console, Dragon's Breath. So the Starship Trait 5 Magics, when dealing damage with any of the 5 magics, which is fire, cold, electrical, radiation, and psionic, it'll apply the following for 15 seconds. Plus 5 current engine power per second, and then plus 15% bonus damage to the 5 magics and disruptor, 15% plus 0.15% per engine power. So with enough engine power, you can get a fairly nice buff for these different damage types. So especially if you're doing an exotic build, this is a nice trait to have access to. And the console is Dragon's Blood Flame Reactor. This has a nice visual. If you've seen any of the higher end DPG builds in the past year or so, they've likely had this console on. It shoots flames out the front of the ship and it does a good bit of damage. So the passives on this are 20% Cat 2 bonus damage for Disruptor, Fire, Cold, Electrical, Radiation, and Psionic, and then plus 10 current and 5 max engine power. And then the clicky is, again, shooting that cone of fire out the front of your ship. It's really fun, and if you have engine power up a bit high, it's going to recharge the console faster. So it's all around just a really good set of accessories here on the Hysperian for the exotic playstyle and also for Disruptor. So if you're looking for something that is going to boost up your exotic build, then picking up the Hysperian for, I think it's going to be 4,250 Zen, that would be a wise move. And the PC servers just came back up, and it looks like Chronogami is indeed 2000 Zen. The ship should be 4,250, the Hysperian. And then for the Harmonics set, I can't see that in the store because I already own it, but I would assume that's also 3,000 Zen. And heading over to the updates for the 15th anniversary bundle and some of the leaks that have appeared. The first thing here is a correction to the correction video I did the other day. In there, I said the ships would also have a Picard era skin, and Thomas did clarify with a comment that I've since pinned. Quote, I do want to clarify, bonus non-TMP skins. I said that every ship in the bundle will have access to a Stowe era appropriate skin. That either means the TMP plus a bonus skin, or it is a ship that already has free access to a TNG plus era skin that it can use in addition to its new TMP skin, end quote. So yeah, I messed up in the video going over how I messed up before, and there is that correction. And heading over to the STO subreddit, Tommy Gunmetal posted yesterday that they were looking at the Obina Mercworker Heavy Cruiser box, and it was showing the stats of a different ship, the Ark Royal. Now, the stats here are not 100% accurate for the Ark Royal. I assume that there's still some stuff from the Obina that have slipped in, like the Universal Console, but we do have a glimpse here in towards the fact that this does indeed have a secondary deflector. It does have 2 hangar bays. The console for it is Scatter Packs and Weasels, so I assume that's some sort of pet summons type of console. And the hangar bays are going to be loaded with Kadai fighter squadrons and Type 4 shuttlecraft. And the Starship trait is Mine All Mine, so clearly something mine related. So really interesting find there. Again, thanks to Tommy Gunmetal for posting that on the Stowe subreddit. Again, the stats here are not likely 100% accurate, but it does give us a glimpse at the Ark Royal, and again confirms the suspicion I raised last week that it looks like it's going to have a secondary deflector. And here it is in writing. And with the patch that console got today, which apparently brought the new ESD over there, so those of you that were looking for that should be pretty happy. There was a leak of the new Pioneer 2 variant skin. So I mentioned the Pioneer as a likely candidate as getting a tier 6 ship with the upcoming bundle, and I think that this skin 100% confirms it. So there you go, you've got a TMP era skin on the Pioneer, and I imagine we'll be seeing some pictures of this from some different angles pop up over the next couple of hours. And courtesy of Mac on Discord, I have some additional angles here of the Pioneer 2. So here you go. Again, the resolution is going to be a bit limited because this is coming from console, and yeah, I know the console version of the game is a little bit limited, and apparently there's also a Plymouth variant. So interesting options there. Looking forward to seeing what the full stats of the Pioneer 2 are. And that's going to be it for today. I know many of you are surprised that we haven't heard anything through the official channels yet regarding the upcoming bundle. It's typical for there to be a week and a half to 2 week delay between the start of the anniversary event and the first teasers dropping for the bundle. So we might start to hear something later this week or, potentially over the weekend. And with that sort of delay, we may not be seeing this bundle arrive on PC until the first week of March. So don't be surprised if we see that sort of delay, but keep in mind we do have a Zen sale on PC right now up through the 25th. So if you're looking to pick up your Zen while it's on sale, then you're probably going to want to pick it up before we even know what the full contents of the bundle are, which does sort of suck. But aside from that, if any of you pick up any of the new MUDs items, let me know what you think of them down below. And as always, thank you to all channel members and viewers for the continued support. See you guys around.